Hello and welcome to Producer Profile. Producer Profile is a show where we showcase some of the talented people who work behind the scenes in the entertainment, business, and local communities while making positive influences on the lives of others.
Welcome to Producer Profile. I'm Stella Winston.
And I'm Orville Nelson.
And today we have Terre Holmes, and she's a producer, and one of the things that she does is she writes. And we're going to be introduced to her by one of her poems. She's going to read to us one of her poems.
Right now?
Recite, actually. And right now, and the name of the poem is Paradise.
Paradise.
Can I see you again? In that dream I've had for 3 nights straight. The one I can't seem to shake. The one where my heart doesn't break and my soul doesn't ache or long for your touch. Where it's okay to walk alone in the park and to sleep in the dark. I need to see you in a place where there are no hesitations and reservations are for those who make them and multiple orgasms aren't for those who fake them. Can I see you again? On that hill where I'm not afraid to look down between the mountains of my heart where my love can be found. I must see you. In those places that I've never been, where love is a must and lust is no sin, where God is a woman and love lives within. I need to see you again.
Well, she moved me. Don't say anything. Don't you say anything.
Okay. It's okay. It's all right.
Don't you say anything. Welcome, Terre.
Oh, thank you.
It was definitely a moving poem. It was obvious that there was, it was heartfelt.
Yes, it was definitely heartfelt.
At one time, obviously, you in love.
Yeah.
Yes.
One time or another. A couple of times, I guess.
Are all your poems that
Passionate?
heartfelt and passionate?
Yeah, I'm a pretty passionate person. Yeah.
It definitely
Passionate
came
about a lot of
through.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been writing?
Since I learned how to write.
All right.
So
So
for
what
a
are we
very
saying,
long time.
5 years old, something like that?
I'm serious. Since I learned how to write and spell, I've been writing poetry. I started probably about 7, 8 years old writing poetry.
You know, sometimes people, they write the most extraordinary and beautiful poems, but they shouldn't read them. And you're not one of those people. You should read
Oh,
your
why,
poems.
thank you so much. I felt that way before, too. I've seen a couple of people read their work.
And it's very good work.
And I said, I can read that better than them. But it's their work, and they don't feel it that way. So, yeah.
Now, has this poem been published?
Actually, it will publish soon
Okay.
in a magazine called Dialogue, which is out of Washington, D.C. This one.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Now, what is your reason for being on this show besides, you know, showing your beautiful self, Terre?
Oh, why, thank you so much. Well, in addition to being beautiful and being a writer, I'm also a producer for BCAT.
And what's the name of a program you've produced here?
Focus on Our Youth, where I do, the show is basically to highlight the positives of youth. You know, I don't think that we highlight the positive aspects of youth enough, especially on television. And
Well, while we were sitting here, I said to Stella, since I didn't have the opportunity to get all the background information, Stella did that. I said, well, what does she really want to get, you know, across? And Stella said, well, youth. She's very active with youth, you know. So
yeah, I love kids. Yeah.
What have you been doing with the youth?
Let's see. Oh my God, I've taught. Taught for for New York Public Schools. Taught
Okay.
6th grade.
And you said you have. Are you currently doing
I
that?
have taught past tense.
Okay. So you did your time in the kitchen.
I did my time, and I've served it. And so, and I realized that teaching wasn't necessarily for me. You know, they definitely need teachers, and I think that I did a really good job,
Yes.
but it just was not for me because Well, I'd rather not get into all
you know,
that, but
the fact is that you did do your job. And
Yeah.
Stella's a teacher also.
I know.
And you did a little, and that's very good. And there are
Yeah.
so many of us who can do some, and you don't have to be there for the rest of your life.
Definitely. And I've also, I was a program director for a after-school program at Restoration, Bedford-Stuyvesant Restoration Corporation. So I ran one of their after-school programs there. And that was good. That was interesting, and I enjoyed it.
Now, Terre doesn't only write poems. Terre also writes plays.
Yes, I write
And there's
plays
a
as well.
particular play that was performed right here in BK.
Right in these studios, right here in this space. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, the play is called Excerpts. I wrote it, directed it, and produced it, and I was acting in it. And also one of the other actors is a guy named Russell Hornsby. And Russell was on the now canceled show Gideon's Crossing. He played the young doctor, and so he did it with me for about 3 years. He was in the excerpts, and so it's sort of like a semi-autobiographical play, and it deals with my mother's a recovering addict, and it deals with her addiction, and it deals with how I dealt with that as a child, and but it's sort of it's pretty abstract. It's told through poetry, dance, and verse.
So why is it called excerpts? Because that brings something to mind. What does it bring for you?
Because it's pieces. It's pieces of our lives. It's pieces of our stories. Excerpts is pieces. It's fragmented. It's
So it's not a complete storyline.
Exactly.
It
It's
just
not
takes
it takes
parts of
snippets
what
of,
your experience was.
Exactly.
Living in that.
Which can be very
certain
powerful.
Right. So it's different characters, and Russell plays like Generation X, which is like the storyteller who sort of takes you through what's going on, and everything is told through like poetry and verse. And
the gentleman's name is Russell?
Russell Hornsby.
Now, you mentioned another Russell that you said she worked with in terms of at BCAT Studios.
Yes, you are host of Russell Perpignon's
Yes.
show, Playing with Numbers.
Playing with numbers. Yes. Very interesting.
Yes. Tell us about that. What is that show about?
It's a show on numerology. I'm just learning about it, so it's really interesting though.
What's the format? You have guests on? Or what
No, it's just myself and a guy named Bernard Adelphus, who is a numerologist. And we did our first show, and it's basically where he sort of did my chart, if you will. He did my chart and told me what my name meant and all of these things, and what the number stood for, and my name, and then the shows to follow will be us just starting with the number 1, going all the way to 9, and we'll take the number 1 and we'll talk about like popular celebrities or the president, whoever's a number 1.
So numerology will be explained.
Exactly,
All right,
in detail, 1 through 9.
I need to watch that show.
Definitely, yeah.
You have to get Russell to make more of them.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I have a lot of 5s in my name.
And what does it mean if you have a lot of 5s?
5s.
And 5s are my favorite numbers.
Are you serious?
Especially 2 5s. Yeah.
Well, I have 5 5s in my name.
Wow.
And what that signifies is independence. That means that, actually he said I had too many 5s in my name. So
I
what does
don't
that
think so.
mean?
I don't think so.
Too independent.
Okay.
That's what he
There's no
said.
such thing.
So it could be a weakness, but you know that, so now you have to work on that.
Exactly, and it, so knowing, those things about yourself, you're able to have. That's definitely a strength, to know and be able to, work on that.
So do you believe in numerology? Is that something?
Yeah, I believe in different sciences, and numerology is one.
So while hearing this explanation of yourself, you're saying, oh, that's why. That makes sense.
I'm telling you, it is definitely, it's the truth. I know I'm a very independent person, and and he talked about the men and how men are, will probably not. That won't be so positive for them.
Because of independence.
Exactly, and so
I like independent.
Really, oh great.
It's very good, because independent doesn't mean that you do not need help or want help. It means that you are standing on your own 2 feet, which is very good. In fact, you need help. We all do.
We all do. We are not islands. We cannot exist alone.
Now you're also a motivational speaker. Isn't that correct? You've done.
I've done some speaking.
What motivates you, or what message do you bring to the audience?
I definitely like to talk about hope and faith, and because of my own background. Like I said, my mother's a recovering addict, and so I like to believe that I represent hope, you know, and that you can come out of whatever circumstance or situation that you're in, and definitely faith, that we are led by faith, or we should allow faith to lead us. And so, and I speak to young people, you know, because a lot of them are struggling with things that they're the only ones, you know, dealing with difficult home environments, and, you know, and just to let them know that they're not alone, that there are other even children inside their classrooms that are dealing with the same things, and everybody internalizes it differently, you know.
Well, we're going to take we're going to take a musical break. This time we're going to hear a song by Vanessa Williams
And Brian McKnight. All right, that worked really well.
We'll be right back.
This next song was a big hit for me. It was a duet that I did with a wonderful and talented young performer named Brian McKnight, who has since gone to be a megastar in the R&B world and pop world. He's a fabulous writer, and he played piano on this track and sang with me, so I'd like to start it. They say it's a river that circles the earth, a beam of light shining to the edge of the universe. It conquers all. It changes everything. They say it's a blessing. They say it's a gift. They say it's a miracle, and I believe that it is. It conquers all, but it's a mystery. Love breaks your heart. Love takes no less than everything. Love makes it hard, and it fades away so easily.
In this world we created, in this place that we live, in the blink of an eye, babe, the darkness slips in. Love lights the world, unites the lovers for eternity. Love breaks the chain. Love aches for every one of us. Love takes the tears and the pain, and it turns it in to the beauty that remains.
Look at this place. It was paradise, but now it's dying. I'll pray for love.
I'll take my chances, but it's not too late.
Love breaks
that remains.
All right, so Brian McKnight and
Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams. Very nice.
And we're talking with Terre L. Holmes, poetess, playwright,
An all-around beautiful person.
producer.
Actress.
Actress.
Yes, actor. Oh, yes, let's talk about your acting.
Ah.
Yes, she's a Shakespearean actor as well.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that part, but
Okay.
what I will say is that I have done Shakespeare.
Okay.
I like it. It's very challenging.
Okay.
It's very challenging. I love the stage, though. I love acting on stage, although that's not where the money is. So, yeah, and I've been acting for years, since I was probably about in 6th grade or something. Just always had
So
a...
tell us the last play that you acted in. Was that the
So the
Shakespeare?
last play was a Shakespearean
Okay,
play.
and what role did you play?
I played Ariel in The Tempest,
Okay.
and then
And where did you do this?
we did this it was in Manhattan with a company called the Judith Shakespeare Company. It's a company that primarily does cross-gender casting. So they'll take plays and they'll, you know.
So it was Ariel, I don't remember.
Ariel
was a
was
male?
Ariel was, I believe, I think it's been played by a male and by a female, but they didn't necessarily mix all the roles up. But what they did do is like the main character was a female, but in the original play it's a male. They did Caliban, which is like one of the like slaves. Caliban is a man, but they used like a black woman to play Caliban. They used a Latino guy to play Caliban, and
Now, Stella Winston asked you about the last play you did.
that was The
That was
Tempest.
the-
Yes,
Tempest.
and I am asking you about the first.
She was a
That
very
is
little girl.
wrong. To make me remember that, but I do.
Yes, you do. I know you do.
Actually, I don't remember the name, but it was a Christmas show.
was a Christmas
It was a Christmas play, and we did it in our in the library of our school, and there were like 2 levels. It was actually great because we were able to use the upstairs and the downstairs, and people sat downstairs and they watched it, and it was really good.
Did family come? Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Like, you don't remember that?
I don't
And why I
remember.
ask is because it's very important. I'm always, you know, in the show, trying to tell people to get their children involved in all these things because you got involved at a young age and you're still doing it today.
Yeah, but I think that was my own, you know, tenacity and my own perseverance that
But you're
kept
exposed.
me going.
You have to be exposed to many different things.
Yeah,
Now
I
you've-
had good teachers. Yeah.
Now, you've also done film. You just completed a film, or are you in the process of doing a film?
I am in the process. We're in pre-production for a film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about it? What's
Well, yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, what's the name of it?
It's called Bless the Mic, Sis.
okay?
Yeah.
All right.
And one of my good friends, Malik Grace, we went to junior high. Well, we went to elementary, junior high, and high school together. And she's a director, writer. She's fabulous. And it's
And what's her name again?
Malik Grace.
Malik Grace.
And the film deals with 6 female poets, and it tells all of their stories through their poetry. And we're all poets, like in real life, and it tells our stories though through our poetry. And so what she did was she put together a trailer, you know, of just the poems, and so I have
And this
that.
is what we have the videotape of.
You have it.
Oh, okay. So let's go to the videotape. What's the name of it again?
Bless the Mic, Sis.
All right.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go to it.
Avenue, where less than many but more than few of my young brothers put in their bids for death, prison rehabilitation, and gang initiation, to sell pharmaceuticals, as they put it, without hesitation, chasing dreams and facing screams of death as they run to passerbys to ask, hey, yo man, what you need? Stroll with me, if you will, downhill where many of them are headed with their heads between their legs, paying off feds who teach them their lessons and then claim their possessions, leaving them for dead. Take this stroll with me to a place where the greed chase takes place right in your face. Come on, tell me what I gotta do for peace. Silent words are never heard as we stare at the pair of hands that hold tightly to our purses and our wallets, and we shake our heads and thank God that it's not us or someone we know. Imagine, if you will, a place where there are no legacies to live on, where days seem short and nights seem so long, where old ladies sing songs of triumph, Take this stroll with me and tell me, do you see what I see?
You left that piece on a high note. What was that? Sing that. Are you able to sing that last piece that you did there? What was it? What did you actually?
The piece?
Yes, when you ended it just now.
You know, remember that song? There was a song that said, "Do you see what I see?"
Yes, that's what I.
What
Do you
song?
see what I see?
Yeah, I loved that song when I was a kid, and so because
Silver and gold.
exactly,
A star. It's from a Christmas something.
Yeah, and so
The Three Wise Men or something. I'm not sure.
something like that. And so I didn't know where it came from. I knew it was from a song, but you know, I wrote the words and then it just came out like that. Yeah.
The past just comes out and repeats itself when something affects you.
Yeah, definitely. So
Now, is there something that you had wanted to ask her?
There's also another film that you've worked on that you've recently completed.
yeah,
And
we completed it. It's
What's the
called
name of that?
Callie's Vibe.
And who directs that?
A woman named Sherry Carpenter.
Okay.
And it's still in production. They're editing it. It's not in production. We're done, but they're editing it right now.
And what's the story?
It's a very interesting story.
Okay.
Of course. Would you do anything else?
It's one of those stories you have to go to the theater to see it.
Okay. And the role that you play?
I play a girlfriend.
Okay.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I have a little, it's a very small part,
Okay.
but yeah.
All right.
But she works it. She works the
All
part.
right,
You can
all
tell.
So they tell me, but but you have to go there and you have to see it for yourself.
Now, in terms of public access, are there any things that you plan on doing with public access more?
There's so much to be done, you know. I really want to get into children's television, television for children, using it, like I said, as a vehicle to highlight the positives of kids, to talk about what's going on in their schools and their neighborhoods, to talk about extraordinarily, like, kids, talented kids, kids who are making a difference.
When you look at our children, is there anything that you feel for them these days when you look at our children?
Yeah.
When you hear the music that they're singing?
Yeah, I was actually at a store today, and there was this truck parked next to me, and when I came up to get in my car, I could hear the music, and there was this kid sitting in the car. I think he was probably about 12 years old, and he was listening to some really raunchy music, and I think it was like on a popular radio station. And I just think that when I was growing up, the rap that was coming out in the 80s was like, it was good. It was clean and it was good, Now,
youth is a reflection of the adults, isn't it?
It definitely is, yeah, definitely.
Because we make them.
Yeah, and we allow them to listen to certain music and
Sometimes
be
we encourage it
exposed
by
to
our
certain
actions.
things, and yep.
We encourage it sometimes by our actions.
We definitely do, and I just think that kids need to stay kids a little longer,
Yes.
So
but it's up to us.
how would you have them maintain that innocence or that youthfulness?
That's a big job for one
Oh,
person.
now,
Yeah,
come
but
on now.
through-
You said innocence?
Well, there's some innocence to youth. Come on.
There is.
I see young children, and they're so innocent.
But sometimes I feel that we, as adults in the community, we want to keep them longer than they should be at that particular place. There's a way to guide a child.
They're
without
definitely,
keeping them.
exactly. And I believe that as well. And I
Right.
believe that when you shelter too much and try and keep them like that, then they sort of
What's out there?
they break
They go
loose.
wild.
18, they go
Wild
wild.
child.
Exactly. The whole thing is waiting till I get 18 so I can get out of your
That's right.
house, so I can do whatever I want to do. And then they get crazy and they
Or
do
they
really,
lie to you
yeah, and they
because
lie.
they're not going to be truthful because they know you
My
are so
mother was very,
opinionated.
she sheltered me a lot, and so I did. So I rebelled, and I lied, and I made up things, and and so in terms of protecting them, I just think it's the parents. They have to, they got to work harder.
Well, we've been
yes.
moved by you,
Yes.
Thank you.
Terre L. Holmes. It was very entertaining.
Oh, I thank you. Thank you for
And
having
Terre
me.
L. Holmes,
Yes.
we're very happy to have you here. My name is Orville Nelson.
And I'm Stella Winston, and you've been watching Producer
Producer's
Profile.
Wonderful.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Now, that poem there, would you mind